Mr. Speaker, we've seen protests in Charlotte, North Carolina. There was a shooting also in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When you see that, what can be done?
Well, first of all, it's heartbreaking. And this country has to find new ways of learning how to heal and understand all the different perspectives. What we're doing here in the House is I assembled a working group of members, of former law enforcement members, members of the Black Caucus, Judiciary Committee, and we have a working group on this. They were in Detroit last week doing listening sessions. They're now all doing ride-alongs with the police. And what we're trying to do is quietly and calmly come together and find where we can find some common solutions. I think the big thing that needs to be done is in each of these communities are people who are endeavoring to come up with solutions. I think we need to find those people and help them with their solutions. I look at Omar Jawara, a pastor in Dallas. He has a program called Urban Specialists. He and Anton Lucky, a guy who was a former gang member, are making sure that young people in the communities are finding paths out of poverty and reconciling. I think that what we have to do is go find those poverty fighters, those reconcilers, those people who are fixing these problems in the communities. Don't displace them, lift them up, and get behind them.
What about from the national level? Is there a role for leaders to come in and play that calming role?
Well, that's what we're doing with our working group. But again, I don't want to make the case that the federal government can just pass a law and this is all going to go away. I think what we need to do is make sure that we go into communities, listen, learn, identify local homegrown solutions, support them, and then see if we can find good solutions that can be replicated in other areas. And that's the kind of dialogue we're trying to achieve.
Bottom up, not top down.
That's right, that's right.
So when Donald Trump suggests stop and frisk for Chicago, that feels like top down.
Well, I think Chicago should make that decision. New York made that decision, and a lot of people in New York thought it was successful.
Do you think it's a good idea?
Well, I think you have to make sure that there are reasonable suspicion standards. I think it has to be done the right way. I think local police and local communities need to make those decisions. You can talk to New Yorkers and talk to former mayors of New York who thought it worked well. Obviously, it cannot be done along racial lines, along ethnic lines. It's got to be done along security lines where those reasonable suspicion standards are met. But again, I just don't think that's something we should pass a law here to do. That's something that local communities have to decide how best to keep them safe.